My golden child brother actually tried to hack into my bank accounts after he found out I sold my tech startup for $30 million. He thought he was entitled to half my money just for existing, but he didn't realize I was about to systematically destroy his fake life and leave him with nothing. I was always the invisible second-place son. Derek was the handsome, athletic golden boy who got his college paid for while he partied across Europe. I worked 2 jobs, coded in my cramped apartment, and built an app from scratch. A decade later, I went home for a rare family Christmas dinner. I made the mistake of mentioning I just sold my company for $30 million cash. The entire dining room went dead silent. Derek violently choked on his wine. Then, he slammed his hand on the table and demanded his cut. "You made millions because I inspired you," he sneered. "I deserve half." My mother nodded in immediate agreement. "You owe him," she said with a straight face. I didn't scream. I went to bed early and locked the guest room door. Around midnight, I went downstairs for water and heard whispering in the living room. My dad and Derek were huddled together, literally plotting to transfer my funds to help Derek get back on his feet. I went back to my room and opened my laptop. The security logs showed exactly what they were doing. Derek had just tried to breach my financial accounts using our old childhood dog's name as a password guess. He wasn't just begging for a handout, he was actively trying to steal my life's work. I packed my bags, walked out the front door before sunrise, and drove away without saying a word. I spent the next few weeks locking down every account with military-grade security. Then, my friend Zoe did a deep dive into Derek's life. He was drowning in 5-figure credit card debt. His upcoming luxury wedding was entirely funded by his fiancée, Melanie's wealthy parents. He was a complete fraud playing a rich businessman. 6 months later, his wedding invitation arrived in the mail. He actually added a handwritten note demanding I bring an expensive gift to prove I was part of the family. He wanted a prop to show off to his wealthy in-laws. I decided to give him a performance he would never forget. I showed up to the country club in a custom charcoal designer suit. I brought a stunning, razor-sharp model named Sabrina as my date. We walked into the venue. The air instantly shifted. People stopped talking. Everyone stared. Derek saw us from the front of the hall. His jaw dropped open. His desperate, confident smirk completely vanished. During the reception, the MC surprisingly called me up to the microphone. Derek crossed his arms, waiting for me to squirm and praise him. I walked slowly to the front. I tapped the microphone. "I learned how to survive without you," I said clearly into the mic. "You were busy being the golden boy." I locked eyes with Derek. "I was quietly building an empire. This is my final gift to you." I dropped the microphone on the table. It made a loud, echoing thud. I turned my back. Sabrina and I walked straight out the front doors. My mother grabbed my arm, hissing that I embarrassed them. I pulled free and left her standing there. 3 weeks later, I delivered the real punch. Derek had recently started a shady media company. He stupidly ripped off a sub-brand name and logo I had quietly trademarked years ago under a shell corporation. My lawyers sent a brutal cease and desist. We attached a massive legal claim for damages. We demanded a full financial audit. We mailed exact copies of the lawsuit directly to Melanie's parents, who had co-signed his recent loans. The threat of a massive lawsuit terrified his in-laws. They immediately pulled all their funding. Melanie dumped him and kicked him out of their apartment. Derek had to move back into my parents' cramped spare bedroom. He texted me, asking why I did it since I already won. I survived. I texted back. I blocked his number forever. I bought a quiet house on the coast and never gave any of them a seat at my table again.